The process of making wicker barrels begins with the collection of the raw material at the appropriate times so that the wicker can be worked properly. The craftsman cuts the ends and removes the bark in a task called esmondar. Before weaving the wicker rods, they must be soaked to make them flexible and prevent them from breaking when bent. Isidro divides the wicker rods into 3 strips for weaving. For this task, he uses a hard wooden stick from quince or elm, with 3 notches that split the rod into 3 thin strips. The preparation of the raw material is still not finished. Isidro, aiming to give his work a perfect finish, smoothed the strips with a blade to make them as thin as possible. Even at the risk of them breaking, the precision of the artisan's work requires him to equalize the width of the strips. Once the strips are ready, he begins weaving the barrel's body. This is the start of the barrel. The rod is wrapped around, and especially here, it must be held firmly, winding it in a spiral pattern like a snail. Though the entire weaving process for a barrel requires great patience, it is at the beginning that Isidro pays the most attention, ensuring no open spaces are left in the roundel. His work involves sewing the wicker rods in a spiral around the starting roundel, using thin strips of the same material. The joint between one rod and another is made by beveling the ends, so the thickness remains the same. When the lid reaches the desired size, Isidro weaves the wicker rod sideways to give width to the barrel's body. The more rods used, the wider the barrel, and therefore, the greater its capacity. The corra is an aluminum wire used by the craftsman to keep the mouth of the barrel open. From the corra, Isidro continues adding wicker rods, forming a thick weave to prevent liquid from leaking out of the piece. Other pieces that need to be added to the barrel's side are the handles for securing the strap. Isidro makes these from 2 wicker rods joined by a woven strip. The mouth of the barrel is made using the same technique used for the body of the barrel, but at a smaller scale. The other side of the barrel has been woven separately and is attached to the barrel body to prevent movement during the sewing. Isidro places some temporary stitches. From this point on, all that's left is to sew it with wicker strips. The edges and the base on the opposite side of the mouth, so the barrel stays upright, are reinforced with wicker rods that guarantee its strength while also beautifying the final work. While the piece heats up in a pot, slowly on the butane stove, Isidro prepares a mixture of clay and water with which he will cover the outside of the barrels. The thick wicker weave prevents the clay from passing through, helping to create a watertight container that can hold liquids inside. The normal state of the pitch is solid due to heat. The pitch turns into a liquid consistency, which is the ideal time to pour it into the barrel. For a 2-liter barrel, Isidro pours 1/4 of a liter of boiling pitch inside. With some well-practiced movements, the craftsman distributes the liquid pitch across the entire interior surface of the barrel. The dense weave and clay layer prevent the pitch from leaking out. Little by little, the pitch cools down and solidifies again, leaving inside the container a crystalline layer capable of holding liquids. After 5 or 6 minutes of cooling, the barrel is ready to be cleaned of clay. This cleaning process starts with a stream of water and then scrubbing with a brush, making the exterior surface visible again, showcasing the excellent wickerwork. At the mouth area, the pitch has spread irregularly. This forces the craftsman to use a hot iron to melt the excess. The final test to know if the wicker barrel will serve its purpose is to fill it with water and leave it for 2 or 3 days. If the liquid seeps through, they'll have to wait for the barrel to dry, and the next day, apply another coat of liquid pitch. With the addition of a wooden stopper and a leather strap, the wicker barrel is ready to fulfill its original function, keeping the wine or water fresh while the farmers were engaged in the hard tasks of the field. Today, the barrels made by Isidro Garcia in Sardonedo are no longer destined for that use of transporting and preserving liquids as in the past. Nowadays, his meticulous and refined wicker craftsmanship takes pride of place among artisanal objects that serve an ornamental function.